Let's make history. Aside from Native Americans who had been here for thousands upon thousands of years, the first settlement to actually kick off what will become New York City was not in Lower Manhattan. It was on Governor's Island. Governor's Island is a small island in the New York harbor, sandwiched between Brooklyn, the Red Hook section of Brooklyn, and Liberty Island, which is where the Statue of Liberty is. It's closer to Brooklyn though, and in fact, there's a narrow strip of water that lies between Governor's Island and Red Hook, and that's called a buttermilk channel. Farm women would board boats there headed to Manhattan to sell their buttermilk. In 1624, a couple dozen Dutch families set up a small village on Governor's Island. They were in the fur business by trade. The Dutch called it Noten Island, which essentially means Nut Island, due to the abundance of chestnut trees. And the natives called the island something similar, except in their language. When the British took control from the late 1600s all the way to the American Revolution, they used it to as a place for your quote unquote, your majesty's governors to be able to congregate amongst themselves. And that's how it got the name Governor's Island. For the most part, it's been used for military purposes. There was even a small neighborhood at one point built on Governor's Island for the families of military personnel. During the Civil War, it was used to house Confederate prisoners, as well as a training facility. It was used by the Coast Guard and then by the United Nations. Also, it was a famous place where President Reagan, Vice President Bush, and Mikhail Gorbachev, head of the USSR, met. And like many of the islands in New York City, it was smaller than it is today. Governor's Island was extended in the early 1900s, actually using the debris left over when they were building the 4, 5, and 6 lines up Lexington Avenue. And nowadays, in the 21st century, it's pretty much a tourist attraction.